For more on our relationship with Japan and how the United States is going to assist, we're joined now by Tom Schieffer. He's the former U.S. ambassador to Japan from 2005 to 2009. And I should mention, Mr. Ambassador, you were just about to head to Japan today. I can imagine all plans on hold.
That's right. I was going to Japan. I go to Japan quite often, but I have checked in with some of my friends at the embassy, and they're all right. But this is a devastating earthquake, and it may be the biggest earthquake in Japanese history. And Japan is a place where earthquakes happen. There are about 4,000 earthquakes every year in the Tokyo area. Now, most of those you don't feel, but people are used to it, and you practice and exercise. When we were at the embassy, we had regular exercises about the eventuality of an earthquake. But the truth is that you can never prepare for one of this magnitude. It's an 8.9. The Tokyo earthquake in 1923 was an 8.3, and there were as many as 143,000 people that died in that earthquake. It just leveled Tokyo. Now, the technology is much better. It's much different now than it was then, but there's no question that this is a major, major event in Japan.
It certainly is, and just trying to gauge the devastation is quite hard. I mean, we're looking at some of these pictures, which are just tremendous to see. But to bring it back to the people who are right now trying to find their loved ones, because this is very much a central place of business. There are a lot of Americans living there. How do they go through that? Is it as simple as picking up the phone and calling the embassy?
It is. I mean, and people have to have some patience, but the embassy is actually closed because of the earthquake. But they have relief centers that have been open. American citizens can get services there, but it might be slow. But the reports we have in the Tokyo area are pretty good. While it was a very severe earthquake in Tokyo as well as Sendai, the number of injuries are I think, I have not heard, I was in contact with some friends in the State Department. I have not heard of any American casualties yet. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and our prayers with the folks there. But you know, this is going to be a period of time here where we're not going to know. But it is a very serious matter.
The president's expected to speak at 12:30, expected to comment on what's happened. What can we expect in terms of U.S. aid, U.S. help? We do have military presence in that country.
We do. We have the largest number of military anywhere in the world, and that gives us great ability to help. And the Japanese, we have told the Japanese that we are prepared to do whatever they need. The 7th Fleet is forward deployed there in Yokosuka, which is just up the coast from Tokyo. Having carriers, having the helicopters in the area, this is going to be a tremendous help. And we've done this in the past where we have tried to help the Japanese. But the Japanese know how to do this, and we know how to do it with them because we've practiced a lot. So it's a horrible thing that's happened, but the American fleet and American assets are going to be able to help and help dramatically, I think.
I'm looking at our wires here, and according to Chief Cabinet Secretary Edano in Japan, he said they are mobilizing 8,000 Japanese troops, 300 planes, and they are going to ask the U.S. military for help, as you say. You said these drills are run. This is a way of life in many ways, though not until you see something of this scale. Can you imagine what you have to go through to get back to business as usual? I mean, how long does it take?
Well, it will take a while, and it will take. Sendai is a city of 1 million people. This is not a small city, so, and this is where the center of the earthquake was, and that's where you're really seeing these horrible.
It's an industrial center, is that right?
It is, but it's on the coast. The thing that is of concern is that there are some nuclear facilities that are around there. There's a research facility that is close by. So far, all the reports are that they have been secured and there's not a problem. But it's something that we certainly want to watch. But this is going to have a big impact. And I know some of your earlier commentators have talked about the debt situation that is in Japan right now.
Certainly.
Japan is at about 200% of GDP. So there is a fiscal problem in Japan right now that the government is trying to address. and the government is not in a strong position right now. It's a divided government where the DPJ holds the lower house, the upper house is not held by anybody. There's not a majority of anybody. But this is something that also the Japanese people, I think you will see them come together in a way that only they can do. They have a great ability to endure hardship, and at times like this, I think you'll see that from them.
Well, Mr. Investor, thanks for coming on today and giving us your perspective.